Hi, I'm John with the Primrose Company. Primrose Company's 104-year-old engineering firm. Primrose designs, engineers, and manufactures the very highest quality lubricants and fuel enhancements to assist you with your clients to inhibit or reverse issues when it comes to equipment. What we're going to do here today, we have an issue which is called condensation. I'm going to take 1, 2, 3, 4 drops of condensation. Every time we refuel, as you can see this condensation, those 4 drops. And I have 4 drops in every one of these test tubes for us to evaluate. But if you take a fuel and you shake a fuel and it goes back to what it was, it's operable. Gasoline, diesel fuel with biodiesel in it, gasoline with ethanol, 2-stroke fuel. If you shake it again, it goes back to what it was, it's operable. Here, we have an enhancement that goes in the fuel, an additive. Now, if I take and shake this fuel up so I don't have anything in my fuel and it turns smoky, as we can see here, this fuel is inoperable. We have diesel fuel that's smoky, it's inoperable. Gasoline, 2-stroke, 4-stroke. As we can see on the bottom of this test tube, this is something that's hygroscopic. If we have something that's hygroscopic, it absorbs condensation, falls out. Biodiesel. Biodiesel from corn oil, biodiesel from fats, tallows. Ethanol is hygroscopic. This is the cetane enhancement if it was diesel fuel and lubricity. And if this is gasoline, this is your octane enhancement. This on top is a subgrade fuel which will destroy an engine. Well, what we're going to do is we got a finger full of fuel and we're going to take this product, which is an injector cleaner, and it treats 1 tank of gasoline up to 25 gallons. So we're going to put this into this fuel, and then we can see we added that to the fuel. Now, if we got a 10,000 gallon tank and it's sitting there, a 500 gallon tank on the farm, we pour that in. What do you got to do? Shake the tank? Oh, we're creating foam. Electronic fuel injection does not like foam. So that's what we did with the brand X. Here again, we have our condensation in our fuel. By the way, we're going to take and put some fuel here, and we'll see what happens when we get a little bit of breeze blowing on something out in the vent on the farm or in the construction company, municipalities. The interesting thing is no fuel is immune from these issues unless you put something in to manage it. We can see condensation and gasoline don't mix. Condensation and diesel fuel don't mix. If we shake it up and it's smoky, we're inoperable. So, this product here, by the way, anything that's this color, you don't want to put it in anything that's got a license plate, especially diesel fuel. You can get it for tax evasion. So this will treats up to 10 gallons. So we're putting this product in here. We put a gallon to a gallon. The interesting thing is we can see on the bottom here, that's our octane or cetane if it was diesel fuel, lubricity if it was diesel fuel. See on top how it's got the dark line? That dark line, this fuel that's in between here, it's not even a fuel. It's a heptane, and it's pushing the oils out of the fuel. That's what causes engine knock, and it's one of the reasons people got to put helicoils in if they have phase separation. Phase separation happens because something's hygroscopic. We shook that 10,000 gallon tank again. Where are we at? We still see that we got the dark line up on top that's pushing that oils out of the fuel. Here again, we got some condensation in this fuel tank. We're going to put a finger full of fuel in. Now this product here states that it can be used in means it could be put in. Gasoline, ethanol blends, diesel fuel, or biodiesel blends. So what we're going to do is incorporate this in here. As we can see, is it lifting any of the condensation? We'll go put it to work. We shook it up, it's creating foam. We don't want foam in our fuel. We're still smoky, so that's considered inoperable. Again, we had a finger full of fuel, and we have about 50% more add package in there. We can see that it's falling out again. By the way, that product there on the safety data sheet, that is isopropanol, ethanol, mineral spirits, brake cleaner, pale oil. At Primrose, we design, engineer, and manufacture the very highest quality in fuel enhancements, which are terminal grade, which will keep all your warranties compliant. When it comes to the Engine Manufacturers Association out of Chicago. As we can see, this fuel is fresh. Just purchased here in Sioux Falls today. I'm going to put a fingerful of fuel in. As we can see, that condensation sitting at the bottom, if I shake this up, we're smoky. So what happens, the condensation is absorbed in the renewable resource or biodiesel, or here's the next or, carboxylates. Carboxylates can happen in gasoline or diesel fuel. They absorb condensation and they'll create what we have here is called carboxylate corrosion. Carboxylate corrosion is a huge issue, and all you boys at Sturtevant's can inhibit this issue by incorporating something into the client's fuel to inhibit this or prevent it. This is carboxylate corrosion. It happens in gas or diesel. So as we can see, the renewable resource fell out, which could be ethanol or biodiesel, or the carboxylates will absorb condensation and fall out. At Primrose, we have a terminal grade product, keeps all warranties compliant, and it goes to work as soon as you put it to work. So we have a smoky fuel, and we're going to call it here. We're going to put drops to work. As you can see, it's starting to clear up the issue. It takes less to prevent than to cure. If we didn't read the label correctly, we still have a smoky fuel. Now we got a smoky fuel, we need to rescue this. 1% by volume, you can have a 14,000 gallon tank, a 100,000 gallon tank. As you can see, we fractured the condensation, broke the H bond. If you ever played with magnets, turn one way, they come together, turn them the other way, they come apart. This fuel is now stabilized for a minimum of 1 year. If we put the product Primrose in at conception, you're stabilized for a minimum of 2 years. So the interesting thing is, what can we do here? Maybe we put these two together. We can get some enhancement out of that. Well, we can still see we have the renewable resource, or something that's hygroscopic, at the bottom of the tank, which can cause white rust or corrosion. Something that's hygroscopic is something that absorbs moisture from the air. Here's my phaser fuel. We'll put that to work. We're taking and breaking the H bond. Oop, we got our full one now. Corey, can I get you to grab this? So what product would you prefer to put to work? Primrose is economical and it goes to work right away. By the way, when it comes to carburetors, excellent carburetor cleaner, Phaser. This product is neutral, can be used in gasoline or diesel fuel to deal with condensation, gum, or varnish. Excellent cleaner. How this all came about, the Primrose Company was commissioned by the War Department back in the 40s, over 75 years ago during World War II in the Pacific, to take care of punky gasoline. This product is beneficial for brass, aluminum, steel, and will hydrate leather. By the way, it's excellent for firearms. Phenomenal penetrating oil. I'm sure you folks know what the difference is between a penetrating oil and a nut buster. You don't want to bust a nut. But the pour point on this is minus 80. That brought us to a situation where we brought to the world the first diesel cold flow improver, which is Primrose Premium Select line. Now when it comes to the brand X's, as you understand, what would you prefer here? This product here is for rescuing winter emergencies, restores flow of fuel to engine caused by gelled fuel or four-wheels and filters. This is only for paraffin gelling. You could drop a case full into a semi-truck, farm tractor, municipal piece of equipment, and it does zero for carboxylates. Minus 38 below, you take a product that Primrose has that will rescue and safely dissolve carboxylates without changing the fuel filter and bring that fuel back to life. Again, Primrose products are a terminal grade product. The Cleanse line takes care of issues. By the way, we have a premium diesel fuel here. This is the premium diesel fuel that came out of the bulk tank. They said there's nothing wrong with the fuel. When it went into the piece of equipment, it was clogging filters. We put Primrose in it. We safely dissolved the asphaltenes to make it operable and give filter life. Primrose clients say where they used 3 fuel filters, now they're using 1. This is something that's hygroscopic. This is asphaltene precipitation. If you recognize on the bottom of this fuel sample, it is yellow and it's green on top. What we did is we flipped it over. And if you have a green fuel, it means that it is wet. If we have a wet fuel, it will steam the asphalt out of the fuel and cause asphaltene precipitation. And asphaltene precipitation should not be confused with what some people call algae. This is tar. Major oil companies have no place to sell it to, so they give it to the farmer, trucker, and the municipality, which will actually assist you with BTU content to give you better fuel economy. But if it's not managed, you'll go through filters. The circumstances are, if people see that they have black fuel, they might say that they have algae. By the way, algae, you have to have photosynthesis to have algae, or they need to have a light in their fuel tank to make algae grow. Algae is actually a microbe, a microorganism which eats the diesel fuel or gasoline. It'll also eat crankcase oil, but they need condensation, and condensation gives them the oxygen to breathe, which can take and cause microbial-induced corrosion. The interesting thing is, in this fuel filter here in this image, this fuel tested to have microbial-induced corrosion, asphaltene precipitation, and carboxylates, which also cause carboxylate corrosion. What inhibits all of these issues, very economically from Sturtevant's, is Primrose Cleanse line. 1 ounce to 8 gallons. This product meets the Engine Manufacturers Association additional performance requirements. This is the reason that this product is considered terminal grade. Some corporations will mention that you cannot, by the way, this is just your alibi. They state you cannot put anyone else's additive into their fuel. Well, the sad part of it is, we can have a Fortune 50 company putting something in their diesel fuel, and they could be in, say, Nebraska, Minnesota, Iowa, the Dakotas. they have no place to buy their fuel with their additive in Indiana. So quit trucking in Indiana because you could have a chemical clash, as they say. By the way, we don't have chemical clashes because we have a terminal grade product and we inhibit that. One thing that does cause a chemical clash, if I take this product, which says that it's a winterized anti-gel, or anyone else's product, this will treat up to, the word is up to, could possibly, up to 100 gallons of diesel fuel. The circumstances is if I took a product, any of these products, we got Total Power, we have Power Service, we have Howells, diesel treat. The interesting thing is, if you guys understand, if I take 100% antifreeze at a higher ambient temperature, that antifreeze will be solid. But if I put in a 50-50 mix, the correct ratio, follow the label, the correct ratio, we lower the cold filter plugging point substantially. So, at Primrose, you can order, if you have your own diesel fuel tank and you're going to put a winter enhancement in it, you can invest from Sturtevant's Winter Cleanse 5757. It's designed to work in biodiesel. Petrodiesel without bio in it. It also manages carboxylates and carboxylate corrosion and also inhibits carboxylate gelling. As of yesterday, this product does nothing for carboxylate gelling. As of yesterday, this product, FPPF, does nothing for carboxylate gelling. As of yesterday, this product does nothing for carboxylate gelling. These are products that were designed for equipment, Stanidine, cetane and Performance, or Winter 1000. It was developed by a diesel injector manufacturer. Well, they make injectors too. So if this doesn't work, they'll sell you some injectors. But it prevents gelling, reduces cold filter plugging point, reduces ice formation, and it's compatible with B20. Our product is designed to affect the renewable resource molecule, and it has the waiver from the DESC from Chief Serino. Chief Serino purchases more fuel than anyone in the world. So if you look up the Defense Energy Support Center, it's part of the Navy. They buy all the fuel from the Marine Corps, the Army, the Navy, National Guard. They get discounts on their fuel through the DESC. And Primrose has the waiver for that. So on the rescue side, if you need to rescue something, this product will rescue a diesel fuel issue, gelling. From Power Service, this product that Primrose has will rescue paraffin gelling or carboxylate gelling. So if you don't know what you have, Primrose has designed a product, Rescue RX 5055, will safely rescue a paraffin gelled up truck or a carboxylate gelled up truck. Now, how do I know that this is a carboxylate gelling without even taking the filter off? It's minus 38 out. The truck dies, the farm tractor dies, the diesel engine dies. But I can start it back up. If it starts back up and idles, it is carboxylate gelling. You try to put it under load, it dies. And it starts back up in carboxylate gelling. If it's paraffin gelling, and the piece of equipment dies, and you try to start it back up, doesn't light up, what you need to do is use a rescue product such as Primrose RX, which will rescue paraffin and carboxylates. Or they can use Power Cleanse, minus 38 below out, 1 quart to 65 gallons, will rescue a truck in 15 minutes. Circumstances are, when it comes to a chemical clash, I already have the correct amount of diesel fuel cold flow improver in my fuel. If I put in too much cold flow improver, I actually raise the temperature back to above zero, the cold filter plugging point of fuel, and then none of these products will work because now you got to take and bring it inside, drain the fuel out, put in fresh fuel to take and get back to the correct blend or ratio that you need. The Primrose ratio for a cold filter plugging point in the minus 30 range is 1 gallon to 1,000. So when it comes to lubricity, cetane, all these products, they say that they will raise the cetane up to 4 points. The Primrose product, which Primrose designs, engineers, and manufactures, raises the cetane 40 points. What would you prefer to offer your customers? Thank you for visiting us today. And before we walk away, we want to make sure we talk about one other thing, which is called lubricity, your wear scar. When it came to sulfur, sulfur was an excellent lubricity. Sulfur plus condensation plus the oxygen make this diesel fuel burn would create sulfuric acids. We would poison the new diesel emission system, the DPF, the DOC, or the select catalyst reduction. All of Primrose products are sulfur-free, but we have an enhanced polar lubricity that will increase the diesel fuel that you're purchasing's lubricity up to 67%. Before we go too far, when it comes to your gas, fuel system deposits, injector perfector is also a terminal grade product. When it comes to your construction contractors and people that are pulling trailers and they say they have herky-jerky transmissions, this is the best transmission rescuer through the gasoline tank. Through the gasoline tank. If I get deposits on my fuel system, that will throw off my emission control device and tell your transmission to upshift, downshift, which creates a herky-jerky sensation because of the transmission. And that is because we have carboxylate deposits in the system. Carboxylate deposits can be removed safely or inhibited with cleanse. When it comes to our cleanse line, we have clients there again, where they used to go through 3 filters, they're going through 1. Where they used to have regens, they've been reduced by over 50%. If you have punky fuel, which was in Sioux Falls, this fuel was out of spec. It was at 1 gallon to 500. We rescued this fuel and brought this fuel back into spec under ASTM D975 diesel fuel specifications. We have a fuel out of spec, which has carboxylates. They just shut down this tractor. We rescued this tractor. Without taking the filter off, we could have rescued this tractor with cleanse at 1 quart to 65 gallons. Gentlemen? Our fuel cap was not fastened tight enough on this piece of equipment. Somebody was driving down the road and this fuel has phased out just because of this fan. Bad gasket. How do we correct this? This is inoperable gas on top, which is heptane. Can we see, Ryan, the bottom, the phase separation of the bottom, the condensation that was in this fuel? Terminal grade product, we're going to put the Primrose to work at 1% by volume. That can be a 10,000 gallon tank underground that the wind's blowing down the vent and making it phase out. We just brought that fuel back into spec. Gentlemen, whose line of fuel enhancements would you prefer to recommend to your client? Thank you.